This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
First tonight, our storm alert continues. Some areas have already seen storms, and the threat is not over yet. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
Well, we are looking at some scattered thunderstorms across the area. Right now, the main area is off to the east and southeast of St. Louis, and none of those storms are severe at the moment. They lost some of their punch as they pushed through the metro area and encountered some drier air. Right now, looking from Worldwide Technology Raceway back towards St. Louis, yeah, the sun's coming back out. There are a few more clouds back behind this initial wave of thunderstorms. There it is as we go over to the farm fields in Illinois through parts of Clinton and Washington County, from Nashville up to Carlisle and heading on up towards Vandalia. You have some rain. The thunderstorms that have been to the southeast from Chester down to Perryville, they've kind of fizzled a bit too in the last hour. What we're watching is this area back across parts of northeast Missouri up into portions of Iowa, west central Illinois. These storms have a history of tornadoes, and it's this area northwest of us that's more favorable for the potential of severe thunderstorms for the next couple of hours. Until 8 o'clock, a tornado watch does remain in effect for parts of mid-Missouri into northeast Missouri. That does include Pike County and the Bowling Green area. Elsewhere in the metro area, it's a severe thunderstorm watch. Not sure how much longer this will stay up because you got to get that activity right now on the southern part of that line to actually impact us. Otherwise, the severe weather threat is over, and it doesn't look like there's a real good opportunity for that to happen in the next 1 or 2 hours. So within the next 2 hours, if anything's going to happen around St. Louis, additionally from what we've seen, that's when it'll happen. Right now, it doesn't look like that's a big option for us at the moment. I don't think we'll complain about that, Ann.
Thank you, Scott. You can get the Weather First forecast sent to your phone anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. We'll send you that link. He was one of the most popular sports figures in St. Louis history, and tonight, sports fans are in mourning. Former Cardinals manager Whitey Herzog has passed away after a short illness.
Herzog is in the Cardinals Hall of Fame and the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. In the 1980s, he guided the Cardinals to 3 pennants and a World Series championship. We have team coverage tonight of his life and his legacy. We begin with sports director Frank Cusimano.
Mike, I don't know if anybody has his baseball resume. He scouted and developed the Miracle Mets to the 1969 World Championship. As an executive, he put together 3 pennant winners with the Cardinals in the 1980s. And oh, by the way, he happened to be arguably the best manager of his generation. Ironically, one of his favorite players on his Cardinal teams based on speed was the slugging first baseman Jack Clark. Whitey traded for him and convinced him to switch to first base. Whitey and Jack would meet at 4:30 in the mornings and go fishing. Whitey's wife, Mary Lou, would have the fish prepared and ready to be cooked after the game at 10 p.m. Jack loved being a Cardinal under Whitey Herzog.
I had the closest seat in the house to watching Pendleton and Ozzie and Tommy Herr and McGee and just winning out in the field, you know, Vince Coleman with Danny Cox and Tudor and Andujar and just Bobby Forsch and all those guys. May some of those guys rest in peace that aren't with us anymore, Darryl Porter and now the Rat, you know. So we always call him the Rat. We didn't call him the White Rat. We didn't call him Whitey. We just said Rat, you know, just flat out.
Jack said, not only did we know we had the best manager in our dugout, the other team did also. Whitey was that good. We interviewed many of Whitey's former players today, and you can see those interviews on our KSDK YouTube channel.
And Frank, a lot of people don't know what a kind soul and how generous Whitey was. Talk about his relationship with Don Denkinger. Denkinger, the umpire who cost the Cardinals the World Series in 1985. And Whitey didn't like the way Don Denkinger was treated through the years.
No, he didn't. In fact, Mike, I can still remember getting a call from Whitey when he would have his golf tournament. And he'd always honor like a Vince Coleman, you know, or a John Tudor at these golf tournaments. He said, "We are honoring Don Denkinger." I said, "What?" And so they gave Denkinger a gold watch and a standing ovation. But the gold watch was actually a Braille watch. So there was like a little dig at Denkinger. And St. Louis loved him that night, and Don Denkinger could not have been more excited to be there and to be with Whitey.
And speaking of relationships, another famous and beloved manager, Tony La Russa, and his relationship with Whitey. Talk about that.
Well, I think it was kind of complicated. There's a great deal of mutual respect, but when we're in these St. Louis Cardinal Hall of Fame voters' meetings. It would basically be Whitey promoting his players to get in and Tony promoting his players to get in. And we would just sit back and just enjoy the banter as those two would go back and forth. Whitey liked Tony, but he would always say this: boy, you know, Tony had a really big payroll. Boy, Tony really had some good players. Just a little bit of a dig. And look, I ask players all the time, one player to win one game to save the world from communism, who do you take? And Whitey wins it 100% of the time. And Tony was a great manager too.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
All right, Frank, thanks. Whitey Herzog was from an Illinois town about 50 minutes southeast of St. Louis.
Annie Krall visited there today. She joins us live from outside Busch Stadium to continue our team coverage.
That's right. I spent all day in New Athens, Illinois, which is Whitey Herzog's hometown, speaking with people who knew him long before he was the White Rat. And besides just being one of the Cardinals' most winning managers of all time, folks told me that he was friendly, generous, and all around just a good guy. Where everybody knows everybody. That's the bullpen during lunch Tuesday in New Athens, Illinois.
They just put the new sign out there.
But one man was all anyone wanted to talk about in this town of 2000, Whitey Herzog.
We got very good memories of him, of the family. And
Everyone seemed to know Whitey.
when I was a kid, we delivered paper to the Herzogs all the time, you know. So I would tell everybody, you know, I deliver paper to Whitey, you know.
A legacy also seen at the Whitey Herzog Field in Belleville. For this man, known by many, his family knew him best. Whitey's cousin-in-law, Jim Newman, saying he was planning to see Whitey the day he passed away and support his cousin Mary Lou Herzog, Whitey's wife, though his cause of death hasn't been announced.
We didn't make it.
Mary Lou and Whitey were high school sweethearts.
In fact, Mary Lou, in the 6th grade, sent Whitey a valentine telling him that she would like to see more of him.
High school, where Vern Moores had the unfortunate fate to play against Whitey for Waterloo High School.
There was no comparison. Their team was so much better than our team.
Vern making his way to the bullpen like everyone else, a favorite of the city's mayor, who told us about when Whitey was still traveling with his baseball farm team through his hometown.
As they passed the local tavern, Bam's Tavern, Whitey pointed to the tavern and he said, I can tell you everybody that's sitting in that tavern this afternoon, plus I can tell you the stool they're sitting on and what they're drinking.
Such a beautiful town, and the MLB commissioner put out a statement this afternoon that I'll read in part. It says, Whitey Herzog was one of the most accomplished managers of his generation and a consistent winner with both I-70 franchises. The Herzog family is planning a private celebration of life service after a period of grieving. Reporting live at Busch Stadium, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
Whitey, who was 92, is survived by his wife of over 70 years, Mary Lou, 3 kids and 9 grandchildren. And our coverage of Whitey Herzog continues on KSTK.com and on 5+, including a 1990 special, Whitey, the End of an Era. You can stream it tonight at 9:30 on Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV.
Coming up, an unsettling crime in a South City neighborhood, the shooting and standoff that left 2 people dead.
Plus, how driving is about to get even more tricky as the weather warms up.